I'm Bruce Tuff, principal of the Tuff Law Firm. We are a full-service law firm serving the greater Woodlands area and the greater Houston area. Contact us at 281-681-0808. We're tough for you.
Welcome to The Legal Fix, a new age radio show brought to you by the Tuff Law Firm. We're the toughest law firm in town, with the toughest lawyers around answering your toughest legal questions.
Hey! Welcome to The Legal Fix. I'm your host, Bruce Tuff, where we ask the toughest questions.
Got him.
Hey, got him. Hey, I'm here with my co-host. I got Boy Wonder, Jeremy Hall.
Whoa, wait, whoa.
What happened?
You're taking after Honey Badger. My name ain't Jeremy. G.I. Jerome is over there.
Oh my God, I got so excited.
You got both of them.
All right. Well, let's start with G.I. Jerome. He's our super lawyer. We got Boy Wonder, Brandon Riley here. And we have a special guest in the house. We have a real estate genius, Michael Bolts. Hey, Michael, welcome to the show. Good to see you.
May the force be with you.
Yes, sir. Back
Usain
to you.
Bolts.
Back to you. So, you know, the specialty in our show is asking the tough legal questions. So, Michael, we're going to be asking you some tough legal questions like we asked of each other. You guys got any tough legal questions?
I have a tough question for him.
What is it?
Are you related to Usain Bolt?
No, he's not enough to be in my family.
Hey, ask a tough question.
You have a follow-up?
Could you beat Usain Bolt on a bicycle if you were racing him in a 100-meter dash?
If he's running and you're on a bicycle,
Yeah,
who
who would
wins?
win?
100-yard dash.
Who wins?
You on a bike versus Usain Bolt.
Well, let's see. How much of a start do I get?
No, block start. You got to
Block.
go. You can make.
I was going to give him 50 yards.
You could
I was
push
gonna
like
give him
this.
50
You
yards.
could push a little bit, and just get a little push run.
little
on. You
momentum,
think
yeah.
you could beat him? I don't think I could beat him.
No.
Hey, is it 100
No.
yards or 100 meters now? I forgot. Anybody
100
watching the
meters.
Olympics? Is it 100
100
meters? That's
meters.
what I always said. So I
110
said
yards.
100 meters. Yeah. So on today's show, we're going to be talking about real estate, landlord-tenant. I think that's going to be the hottest topic for everybody is landlord-tenant law because that's in the front page of the news now and about the expiration of the order for the moratorium on those renters that are out there. Also, the landlord will be asking Michael your tough legal questions on the legal fix. So if you want to call in, we'll put you in the queue. Also, I've had people ask me, hey, how come you always talk about the honey badger? Who the heck is the honey badger and where is she? Well, the honey badger, we talked about her in our first show. She's Diana Tuff in the office. Okay, now
Every
now
show.
full disclosure. Oh my God. And she is our greatest critic, by the way. And Diana,
True story.
in fact, the latest, we just watched one of the shows on the podcast, and she had a comment about Brandon. She goes, Brandon, not everybody thinks you're funny as you do. and I said,
Haters gonna hate.
I said, we got to
Haters
have the
gonna
honey badger on the show, right?
Definitely.
So I told Brandon, I said, hey, you know what? Let's do this on one of our shows. I said, let's have the honey badger go. So I
The
invited her to be
HBIC.
on the show. I said, come on, you be on the show. She almost got ready to go on the show after saying, I'll never be on your frickin' show. But then Brandon, he corners me. And what did you
You're
tell me
welcome.
to do? What did you do?
I told you to
Tell
get
me.
rid of her.
I know. And then I had to come up with some silly-ass excuse for why she couldn't be on the show. That was hell to pay.
There was an appeal to be worked on.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, what was it?
An appeal
Oh
she had to
yeah,
work on.
yeah. We have like 3 or 4 appeals. We have things going all the. In fact, she's working on an appeal with Paula right now on the TCPA, which we've got to have Paula on the show. Okay, Paula's been working
Yeah,
super
absolutely.
hard. I got to have her
Absolutely.
on the show.
Look,
I
there
think
they are.
I think our next show we're going to have her on there. Oh, there's the team. We're in one of the trial rooms. There's Honey Badger in the
That's the
middle.
war room.
HBIC.
She's on your left, my right, and there's G.I. Jerome, Cortland Pettigrew, Vincent Mallory. She's there, and there's Boy Wonder, Brandon, and then Megan McCliss. So we're going to have all these folks on our show. I think what we do is our next show, let's have the whole office on the show. Have everybody come on so
Meet the
everybody can
office.
meet everybody, with the exception of
Honey
They-
badger.
Yeah, Honey Badger can't
No
be on the
Honey
show.
Badger.
She'll never be on our show.
The audience eventually will demand her.
You
They
think
will
so?
demand to see
You
her.
think so?
Absolutely.
I don't
can
think
feel
we'll-
the momentum building.
I don't think we'll ever. I will get her on there.
Audience, let us know.
Hey, I've got a tough legal question for you, Michael. What are the two biggest phone calls you get about real estate or in your law practice? What are the calls?
It's definitely repair statute and security deposit questions.
Okay, landlord-tenant stuff, right?
Yep,
So when
that's
you
right.
have something broke, like your faucet or a leak in the ceiling or the water heater or something, that's one of the questions you get. And then, how do I get my security deposit back? Right?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay. And who do you represent mainly? More landlords or tenants, or is it a mix between the two? What's your practice made of?
Only the landlords.
Okay, a lot of landlords, but you know the tenant issues. You know how to represent tenants if you had to.
50% of my day is spent with tenant issues.
All right, good. And how often are you in court, Michael?
3 times a week usually.
3 times. Okay.
What's the other half of your day spent on?
Figuring out why people didn't have a lawyer when they went to got a divorce or when they went to a closing or something like that.
not having a lawyer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Niche.
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to break and we're going to come back for our second segment. We're going to go ahead and start taking phone calls, and we've got a whole set of tough legal questions for Michael. Thank you. We'll see you soon.
I'm Bruce Tuff, principal of the Tuff Law Firm. We are a full-service law firm serving the greater Woodlands area and the greater Houston area. Contact us at 281-681-0808. We're tough for you.
It's time to change. If you like country, we play it. If you like pop, we play it. If you like Latin music, we play it. If you like rock and roll, we play it. Because no one does fusion music like we do. 91.1 FM, The Ball.
We all want to protect what we love. And we know that child safety seats and seatbelts save lives. Yet 3 out of 4 kids aren't buckled in correctly. And in 2016, 42% of Texas teens who died in crashes weren't wearing a seatbelt. Don't be a statistic. If you love it, click it. That includes you, too. Buckle up. Every rider, every ride.
Ask for your favorite songs using WhatsApp. The number 936-900-2381.
Hey, welcome back to The Legal Fix.
The
I'm
Legal
Bruce
Fix.
Tuff. I'm here with Boy Wonder, Brandon Riley, G.I. Jerome Hall,
Boy, I wonder.
and Michael Boltz, who's our real estate expert today. He's been
Michael
talking
Boltz?
about all your real estate questions. Hey, Michael, when did we first meet? I remember, when was it? Chamber? Yeah,
2004.
2004. Where was it?
We were not that time.
Oh,
we were in a seminar together and with the Montgomery County Chamber of Commerce.
right. Do you remember? Now I remember meeting you, and I always take pride in meeting fellow lawyers because I think lawyers. That's one of the best. Well, they are the best people I know. I love lawyers, and when I met Michael, I know he had just joined the chamber, and I wanted to greet him and thank him for joining the chamber. And ever since then, Michael, we've had a great association. We've referred cases to each other, and really enjoyed working with you. And it's been a great ride. Tell us a little bit about your background for everybody that wants to know about the Michael Boltz.
You
Not to be
mean lightning
confused.
bolts with
Yeah.
justice?
Lightning bolts with justice.
So I've been in real estate since I got licensed back in 1975, believe it or not. And I've been in a partnership a couple of times, but most of the time it's been sole proprietorship. I'm licensed in a number of states and
What states?
New Mexico and Illinois.
In Texas.
Texas too, yeah. I forgot about that.
Where's your favorite place to practice law?
Texas?
Texas,
Absolutely.
Isn't it great? It's free, man. The home of the free and the brave are right here, no doubt. Yeah. Hey, Michael, if someone wanted to get a hold of you, how would they reach you? Your phone number, website? What's your number?
Well, I operate under Bolt's Law, and our office number is 832-381-3070. And just give me a call, and we'll visit with your issues.
Is that you up on the screen?
That handsome guy
Yeah, dude.
looks just like me.
Michael, you look
That's
so
awesome
good.
tie.
Yeah, you look good.
Signing a lawsuit, no doubt.
So it looks like business law, probate law, real estate law, wills, trusts, and estate planning. You cover a lot of ground, Michael.
Well, I develop clients, and those clients have interactions. I mean, if they have a business, they have a real estate. If they have real estate, they have wills and probate. So I cultivate the same clients over years. I've got one client that I've had for over 30 years, 38 years.
That's valuable. Man, to have a client like that, that's the best thing, to maintain the client. That's just a testament to you, Michael, and how good of a lawyer you are.
It is.
Yeah. So, okay, so we usually do what we do is we ask tough questions to each other. Jeremy said he had some tough questions he was going to fire off in a lightning round. You want to fire those off? Who are you going to pick on today, G.I. Jerome?
Bruce, we're going to start you on the hot seat.
No.
Carlos?
No. Oh.
We're going to put 1 minute on the clock.
You're under oath.
It's time for the first ever lightning round.
Anything you say can
It's
and
like
will
me
be used
dancing to
against you
Bruno
in your
Mars right
household.
here. I like the inner music. Hey, yeah. Okay.
Okay. No more delays. On Carlos, go.
Okay.
Name your favorite child.
Sydney.
Do you believe in absolute truth?
Yes.
What's your favorite color?
Blue.
Where'd you go to law school?
University of Houston Law Center.
Do you believe in the resurrection?
Yes.
Sum up your life philosophy in a word or phrase.
Adventure, patriot, disruptor.
Favorite movie?
Wind and the Lion and Forrest Gump. It's tied.
Have you cried in the last year?
Yes.
Top
you cried?
unchecked bucket list item.
Sail around the world.
If you lived in another era, what would it be?
1800s.
What's a better pet? A snake
In
or a bat?
Scotland, by the way, I wanted to beat England. I would be the guy that would have the revolution. Make that the 1700s. Okay, sorry. Go, Jeremy, go.
Better pet, snake or bat?
Bat.
Drown
I
or
was
burn?
bit by a bat, by the way. I have rabies shots. Okay.
Drown or burn?
Drown.
One food for life, what would you eat?
Steak.
Do you have a will?
Yes.
Do you have a prenup?
No. Damn it. I wanted to get one of those. I didn't need
How
one at
much
the
money will
time.
it take for you to
Honey
retire?
badger will kill me.
How much money to retire?
At least $3 million.
Republican or Democrat?
Republican.
Who's smarter, you or Honey Badger?
She is. She's wicked smart.
Wicked smart.
Honey badger's
Nice.
wicked smart. Okay. Thank
Bruce
you. How'd I
survived.
do? How'd I
Bruce
do, guys?
survived.
That was pretty
Excellent.
good, actually.
Excellent.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Future guest, beware.
Okay, maybe let's do this. Let's do 1, 2, 3 questions, fire round questions. Just 3. 1, 2, 3 to Michael Bolts. Okay, Michael, you saw what happened. Get ready for this. Okay.
Oh my
All right,
God!
Here, yeah.
No.
We may do 6. We'll see. All right, I'll start. Ready? What's your sun sign?
Pisces,
Favorite job other than practicing law?
teaching,
Fastest you've ever gone in a car.
130.
Girlfriend's
Texas?
name.
Yay.
I refuse to answer on the grounds I might get killed.
Republican or Democrat?
Independent.
Worst purchase ever.
Man, I've made so many of those. I don't know. I just can't think
Mine's
of one.
a car. Worst purchase is a car. You got to have it. The worst buying
Which car?
experience you ever have is a car. Okay, I mean it's never been my best. It's always been my worst. Okay, so what's your favorite car?
My favorite car is my Toyota Avalon. I love that car.
Yeah, that's a great car. Yeah,
Sounds
I've
nice.
driven a Toyota Avalon. We were talking about cars on the way over here. I picked Michael up from the office and drove him over here. Yeah. Okay, is that it? You guys got any more? Huh?
You got any more?
What do you use in your hair?
Nothing.
Nice. Al natural.
Yeah.
I love these tough questions. Okay, so here's the show is about real estate. Michael Bolts is our guest, and we're going to have some callers call in. But Michael, tell us a little bit about your toughest real estate case that you handled.
Well,
Oh, wait, I hear a caller.
Yeah.
I got a
Hold
caller.
that-
Wait, hold the
hold that
thought.
answer.
Hold the thought.
Hold
We've
that
got a
answer.
caller. All right. Welcome, caller.
Welcome to the Legal Fix.
Welcome to the Legal Fix. Yes, state your name.
I'm Mindy.
Mindy. How are you, Mindy? How you doing today?
I'm good.
Welcome to the
I'm
Legal
excited.
Fix. Okay, you're excited. I know everybody's excited to be on the show.
I need some help.
You do need some help.
Well, what's
Okay,
your question?
tell me what your question is. What do you need?
So I live with my son and my mother,
Right.
and my landlord is trying to evict me. And I don't think he can evict me because of COVID, but I haven't paid rent since last November.
Okay. All right. So you haven't paid rent since November. Why haven't you paid rent, Mindy? Tell us. Why haven't you paid?
Well, I don't have a job anymore.
Where were you working?
I was a dancer.
A dancer.
Because
Oh.
of
Where?
COVID.
Yeah, that's important. That's probably our most important question for you today. Where? No, that's all right. All right, so you're not working. You're living with your mom and your son. You haven't been paying rent since November, and you're unemployed. And so your question is what?
It's a brutal sum up.
Yeah. Is that it? Is that pretty good or not? Did I get
No,
it
that's
all?
good.
Okay.
Her name
Tell-
is Mindy.
Mindy. What did I say? All right.
So, what's your question, Mindy?
Can they evict me even though I haven't paid rent? Isn't there a grace period?
well, first of all, your first step is to file a CDC declaration. You can go online and download it. It's a page, 2 pages. You don't need to notarize it. Deliver it to your landlord, hopefully with a letter, but some proof of service. And then the landlord cannot evict you for non-payment of rent. However, it doesn't cover other grounds for eviction. And so if that's the only ground the landlord has, then they can't evict you. But if you've had unauthorized pets, if you've had if you violated a homeowners association rule or some other violation of your lease, they can seek
You gone. You're out of there.
Yeah, niche. So, Michael, so you could still have protection under the
I
CDC
got done.
guidelines. You could still have protection then. You apply for this, and then so Mindy could be protected, right?
Well, until June 30th, unless the government extends it to September 30th, which is under discussion.
Okay.
Wow. That's like tomorrow, though.
Yeah,
All right.
it's
This week, or
immediate.
This end of this month.
But
yeah.
the other thing I would recommend, though, that you seek help from. There's $36 million have been granted to the state of Texas to help tenants pay rent. So I would seek help through 4 or 5 different agencies.
Okay.
That's
good.
gold right there. That's
Yeah,
great advice
that's
to
excellent.
tenants facing eviction.
Mindy, did that help you out any?
Yes, that helps me out tremendously.
So get your CDC application form, fill that out, and you can apply for some protection and get back to work.
Yes.
Dancing.
Back to
Awesome.
work.
That sounds good. Thank you.
Hey, thank you for calling the Legal
Thanks,
Fix.
Mindy.
We
And
appreciate it.
by the
Bye.
way, there's terrible consequences if the landlord doesn't abide by that CDC declaration.
What
So,
happens?
well, they're subject to a $100,000 fine. They're subject to criminal actions that has to be filed through the Department of Justice, however. But there are big consequences if they don't abide by the CDC declaration.
Okay, well that's
Interesting
good.
stuff.
That's good to know, Michael. So does anything else that someone might want to know? Being a tenant in a situation where they can be evicted for violating their lease. Like say if they have someone who's not on the lease, or if they violate some term or provision of the lease. I noticed that if you had someone who had been convicted of a felony and they were residing in your premises or something like that, is that am I off on that, or is that an eviction that can happen against a tenant?
Yeah, we, given the COVID, since I represent landlords, we always fall under different grounds other than non-payment of rent. We'll, for example, non-renew a lease that's coming to an end, and then seek recovery as a holdover and a COVID declaration doesn't protect that tenant whatsoever. If they're running a business in a subdivision that prohibits running a business, we can seek grounds for violating non-residential activity of a leasehold. So there's many grounds other than non-payment.
Okay, so the key is the lease agreement in itself and the terms and conditions of that lease agreement, whether it's expired or not. So that all has a major consideration in whether a tenant still can occupy a premises or not. Okay, well, thank you. That'll complete our second segment. And remember, if you have any real estate questions, you can contact Michael Bolts. Michael, what's your phone number again?
832-381-3070.
Okay.
BOLTZlaw.com.
Yay. All right. All right. We'll be back. Thank you.
I'm Bruce Tuff, principal of the Tuff Law Firm. We are a full-service law firm serving the greater Woodlands area and the greater Houston area. Contact us at 281-681-0808. We're tough for you.
Hey, welcome back to the Legal Fix.
The Legal Fist.
Hey, I'm your host, Bruce Tuff. I'm here with Boy Wonder, Brandon Riley, and G.I. Jerome Hall. And we have our special guest, Michael Bolts, who's asking all the tough legal questions. And he's answering your questions about real estate law. We've been talking a little bit about landlord-tenant law. And then on the break, we were talking about the contracts that you have for leasing an apartment, leasing a house. It's a standard TREC form. I don't even know what TREC means. What does TREC mean, Jake? What does that mean, Michael?
Texas Real Estate Commission.
All right, Texas Real Estate Commission. I actually knew that. That was just one of my setup questions. I know everything, actually. So this contract we have up on the screen, tell me a little bit about that, Michael. What is that used for?
Okay, there's many provisions in the landlord-tenant law that require a document to be in writing to be able to take advantage of the provisions of the law. Otherwise, you're subject to common law. And so in the landlord-tenant law, let's first look at paragraph 4, which is the renewal. Very few people pay attention to that. If you have a one-year contract and no one does anything pursuant to paragraph 4, you end up in a month-to-month agreement, and that month-to-month agreement goes infinitum. And so the way if you're a landlord or a tenant, the way to get out of the liability, because if you're a tenant, you don't want to be subject to more rent, you have to send a 30-day advance notice that you're terminating it. Or if you're a landlord and you want to get rid of a tenant, you have to send that 30-day notice of non-renewal. Now, one of the interesting parts about that is we'll talk about security deposits. And if a landlord doesn't return the security deposit within 30 days of getting notice that they're leaving with an itemized list of deductions, they're subject to very punitive penalties. However, if the tenant was required to give advance notice and they didn't, then that ends up being a defense for violation of the security deposit law. And so the paragraph 4 is the condition of returning the security deposit, and you have to fulfill that. So it's a small area, but it's very useful in most security deposit cases.
And is that what we have up there on the screen, Michael? Section 10, the security deposit?
Yeah, Section 10. And the requirement, again, is that within 30 days of receiving the advance, the forwarding address of the tenant where they can get their security deposit, the landlord has to submit an itemized list of the deductions showing the monies from the security deposit that are being withheld. A security deposit's interesting in that it's not the landlord's money. It's an advance payment. and so it belongs to the tenant. So if the landlord doesn't return that money, then that's what subjects them to liability. Most landlords stick a security deposit in the bank and think it's, their
Found
money.
money.
It's not a deposit. It's an advance payment to secure payment of the lease.
So it's really important to read your lease agreement and abide by the terms and conditions of the security deposit. Michael, what happens when you don't have a written lease? How are there rules or something that regulates landlords and tenants if you don't have a lease?
Yeah, then you're subject to section 91, which requires the landlord to make a good faith to replace you as a tenant when you leave. You're subject to the statutory provisions in section 92, which is the landlord law. So the state has written your lease.
That's in the property code, Texas Property Code 91 and 92. So that actually, you can actually have a lease without having a lease because it's statutorily prescribed in section 92 and 91 of the Texas Property Code.
Yeah, the state wrote your lease for you.
Is it pretty fair to do that? Which better, the written lease or the state code lease in 92?
It depends upon who you are, but it's obviously better for the landlord because there are certain provisions that you can't exercise unless they're in writing, underscored, and in bold print. And if they're not in the lease, then you can't take advantage of those protections.
All right. You had mentioned at the beginning of the show there were two things that you get the most calls on. Security deposit was one of them. What was the other one?
Repair statute.
Right. Tell me about the repair statute. What does that entail?
Well, the Texas legislature, under Chapter B of Section 92, wrote what we call the repair statute. And that sets out all the rules for making repairs. If you think about it, a tenant goes and looks at a property, wants to rent it. The landlord's under an obligation to make repairs to keep that leasehold the same way it was when they moved in. If the landlord doesn't make those repairs, the tenant has recourse against them. And so that's where I come into, get involved so much because the tenant seeking penalties. Now, the two defenses of a landlord are always great in the sense of the landlord is that, one, if the tenant's behind in rent, there's no obligation to make repairs. There's no obligation to even give a security deposit. The second thing is if the tenant causes a damage or his occupants, that's a defense to any violation of the repair statute.
My daughter went through that in Austin. They actually, during the freeze, so the gas was cut off. They had no access to heat. They couldn't cook. They couldn't do anything in the premises, and they went about 10 days. Is that an unreasonable time for a landlord to make repairs without having heat in your apartment, without being able to cook in the apartment? I mean, it just didn't seem right that she and all the other tenants in this apartment complex were told, well, just, find something yourself, go to the McDonald's. But is that the way it works or not?
Well, the repair statute breaks them down into two kinds of repairs, the ordinary repair and then the repair that is a material condition affecting the physical health or safety of a tenant. Mm-hmm. And so good. You have a 7-day clock on conditions that affect the safety or health of a tenant. On the other one, your clock is much more relaxed.
All right. Hey, Michael, thank you for all that information. I really appreciate that. I know that a lot of our guests were really concerned because I think everybody's been a landlord or a tenant at one time, particularly more of a tenant. So that really helps us understand the landlord-tenant law. I think one of the most important takeaways is that the Texas Property Code does provide statutory remedies. So if you don't have a lease, you can resort to that. Also, if you need an attorney, any landlord-tenant needs, Michael Bolts, call Michael. What's your phone number again, Michael?
The Lightning Bolts.
Lightning Bolts, swift justice.
Yay, good.
832-381-3070.
Hey, thank you, Michael, for being the guest on
Bruce.
the Legal Fix. Thank you, G.I. Jerome. Thank you, Boy Wonder. And if you have any tough legal questions, you can call the Tough Law Firm or you can call the Legal Fix. Thank you.
Legal Fix. The Legal Fix.